What? What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is hughwizzy and you're watching the most electrifying channel in sports entertainment. You join me for late night fraudulencia, my fraud gang family. You join me on an historic evening. We are going to have to delve balls deep into this one. Oh, no. You thought for a second that you were going to be getting away with this performance. What an electrifying evening it has been. Welcome back to the channel, my fraudulent friends. Make sure you are subscribed if you're new and drop the video a damn like if you breathe oxygen. Oh, it's going to be a good one tonight, I promise you that. Because what we have just seen will never be forgotten. Tonight, oh wow, we witnessed the changing of the guard, my friends. That's what this was. This was the confirmation of what has been coming since 2015, if we are realistic. If we go back, this can be traced to a period of time when Barcelona were capable of signing players who were going to improve the squad, who became leaders, integral parts of the system. Those days are gone. What we saw tonight from this Bayern Munich side was ridiculous. I don't know what they're feeding these dons. All the spinach? All the spinach? What we had tonight was an aging side which has been blessed with very expensive parts that don't quite fit. What we saw tonight was a Barcelona side who, despite the fact that they do have the best player in the world, have failed to build around him successfully for quite some time and are being fully exposed because he can't keep up anymore, and nor can the likes of Gerard Piqué. Bayern Munich have done tonight to Barcelona what has been done to so many other clubs. Imagine if this had been a two-legged affair. You need a rating. An R rating on the highlights for this one. Torn apart, broken in two, bent over, slapped, yeah, and put into retirement. I'm expecting heads to roll. And questions will be asked, and so they should be. Because there was a mass amount of fraudulence on show tonight. Yes, there was.
Good evening. Good evening.
There are reasons why I have to admit, and some of you might not buy this, but Murphy, if you're watching, I know you heard it loud and clear. Don't ever doubt me again. True football don, yeah? This was not a surprise, my friends. This has been coming, and what Barcelona, who are, as we will go into detail, falling apart at the seams, and unfortunately for their fans, in such a financially precarious situation with the contracts that they have on board, that it's going to take a lot to get out of the hole that they're in. What Barcelona came up against tonight was the pinnacle of this sport. This is the very creme de la creme. It is almost impossible to outdo this right now. And I will give you the reasons But they don't mess about, obviously, Bayern, to speak in layman's terms. They have a clear plan. They are a financial powerhouse and ruthless in the market and on the pitch, as you saw tonight. Super Chatters, I see you. We will be coming to the Fraud Gang and the Fraud Gang Members Club, new members, including Alejandro Castro. Alejandro, my son. Bayern Munich have an incredible array of bits from the best. They have dealt with, for a decade, the most dominant Barcelona team. Maybe the best team that football has ever seen, arguably. A style of play that was impossible to beat at the time. The tiki-taka legacy is still evident in Barcelona's game by bringing over Pep Fraudulence. We have to give him credit. He changes football. By having players who have Barcelona in their blood, La Masia products, who not only understand the works of the likes of Pep Guardiola, with the influence of Cruyff, but have now got a new nemesis to deal with in Liverpool. And Liverpool, again, with Jurgen Klopp, have changed football. So now we've got the pass master thing going on. We can do the little tiki-takas and whatnot. That's great. It's not enough anymore, as Liverpool have proved. Let's not forget that 4-0 is another reason why tonight should not be a surprise. But they have dealt with the tiki-taka, and now they must deal with the tenacity, with the pace, with the aggression, with the physicality. Because football is no longer football. It is no longer True Ballers FC Squadron needed. It is fizzy football. It is fizzy ball. It is who can go the fastest for the longest. Who is willing to work the hardest? Your technical ability is a fucking necessary given. It's a given, though. That's a standard basic requirement. What is necessary now is to be in tip-top shape. In such incredible shape that, let me just bring you over here, that after 90 minutes of football, 90 minutes of intense, furious football where you are sprinting from start to finish, post-game, you are not even out of breath. You are not even out of breath. These are the levels of fitness that are now required, apparently, to be elite in my sport. I fancy some juice. I'm just going to pop to the kitchen quickly. I won't be a second, okay? If I just got a inkling that juice is what I need. Orange? Have we got any orange? Any orange in the building? Look at the old juice. Red stuff. I'm going for the red one. I don't know what kind of juice they're drinking out there, but I'm going to have the smallest sip on this and just see. It's better. I'm ready to go. Yeah? 34 years old. Ready to go. Let's go. I don't know what's going on. You have two aging sides here with 30-year-olds who go forever, who look fitter than they've ever looked before. Let's not take it away from them. They clearly work very hard. They clearly have very, very, very high level of expectation of each other, and they have used the break efficiently. Make no mistake, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to be stopped. I'm sorry. The standards are so high. It's faultless from top to bottom. What they have, what's this here? What is this we're dealing with here? Fabrizio Romano. Barcelona have already decided to sack Quique Setien. I mean, this is the in-the-know information that we need, that no one would have been able to guess. We'd never have realised this, that the club are falling apart at the seams and this guy is totally out of his depth. How has he got the job anyway? He's got the job because the people that they've approached were not available. Who have they tried to approach? Pochettino. Can't do it. Maybe he can do it. Maybe he can be convinced, because surely it can't be worse than this. Surely a new direction is needed. They've approached Ronald Koeman. I don't know why, but you know, he's kind of busy right now. I guess I do know why. They're doing really well, the Dutch. So they've approached Xavi. He said it's too soon. And I'll tell you what, he'd be a massive fool to take the job, because it's a poison chalice. These are the facts. Goretzka. I mean, he's grown a little, hasn't he? He looks like a different man. Incredible domination. And Barcelona have got recent previous history of this being the end. There has been an over-reliance on this guy. And the way that the club have failed him is embarrassing. He's pulled them through despite everybody else that they've got on board. And some of the names that Barcelona have got on board over the last however many years, let's say 4 or 5 years, they're incredible names, and also incredible amounts of money spent on absolute wasters. I want to go through some of the transfer dealings, some of the arrivals, since the last time that I think that players had a real impact on the squad. Let's go back to 2014-15 season. Yes, when they brought Luis Suarez in for £73 million. Ended up being a good deal, didn't it? Became an integral part of the squad, didn't he? They also brought in Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who had a bit of a nightmare tonight, but again, for £10 million, he's proved to be a quality bit of business. That's where it stops, okay? That is where it stops. And for some reason, this is where it all starts to go horribly wrong in my eyes. Let me know in the comments whether you think there's something else at hand, and I'm sure there is. Barcelona fans, I don't know how long we can go in this cyclical motion of doing the same thing with different people. £30 million on Arda Turan. £15 million on Alex Vidal. I mean, where are these players ending up? £30 million, £33 million on Andre Gomes. He's ended up at Everton. He's kind of found his level, hasn't he? Paco Alcacer. He's ended up at Villarreal, hasn't he? Titi is probably the only one there who's survived. Digne, Silison, Denis Suarez. Who's making the decisions out here? Felipe Coutinho. £130 million. How much? £130 million. Only to come back tonight and duppy their ass. Oh, mate. The final nail in the coffin, when the player that you spent £130 million and isn't good enough for your club, so you send him out on loan, comes back to haunt you as a late substitute with 2 goals and an assist in an 8-2 spanking. Oh, life. Oh, life. It's simply beautiful.
I would say, be excited.
Be excited about Ousmane Dembele for £124 million, or Paulinho for 36, Semedo for 36. They spent £350 million in 2017, 112 the year before, 116 the next year. Malcolm, £36 million. Arturo Vidal, Artur. We're talking about a lot of money. £250 million last season. Antoine Griezmann. I mean, that hasn't worked, has it? £108 million. Braithwaite, 16. That was an emergency that shouldn't have even been allowed. Silly amounts of money. And already we're into it again with Pjanic and the likes of Martinez being talked about as well. And all the while, despite all this money being splashed, what we're really left with is still the core of what was there in 2014-15, with Suarez expected to do the same thing, with Messi given the same workload, with PK still running around like a blue-ass fly. Defensively, it's finished. It's finished, lads. It's over. And tonight you saw the evidence of it. The game has moved on past these dons. It's left them behind. And unfortunately, this is now the first season in 13 years that Lionel Messi, the world's greatest player, will finish the season with no trophies. No trophies. Trophyless. Messi. You mean to tell me that Barcelona, who make more money, bear in mind, they make more money than any other club in world football, right? They have Lionel Messi on their team, right? You have, I don't care if you're Wickham, yeah? You got Messi. You better win something. You better win something. Wow. It's the end. It's over. I don't know how you rebuild this as well, because like I say, the contracts that these guys are tied into are severely overrated. They are overpaid. I think they are paying sports. They're the most highly paid sports team in the world, Barcelona. And tonight, they were outplayed, completely outclassed. I mean, Thomas Muller, all jokes aside, he's put in a world-class performance. Thiago Alcantara, I told you about this boy. Oh my word, 30 million euros, a fucking bargain, lads. It's a bargain. An absolute, he's a microphone controller, yeah? Controls the ceremony for you, yeah? Nothing is going backwards or sideways. It's all forward. It's all progressive. It's brave. It's first to the ball. It's tenacious. Look at the way they caught Barcelona sleeping in midfield with the press so many times. Serge Gnabry! Oh. What you're looking at right here, is the best left back in world football. Okay? This youngster is flourishing and shining as a result of an effective scouting system, of analytics that uncover true potential, of the eye test being passed. True ballers. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, the pace is electrifying. And these days we have talked about it. It is not football. It is fizzy football. We will call it fizzy ball. You need an exceptional attribute to shine. This guy's got it in bucket loads, though. Not just the speed, not just the strength, but the football IQ is beyond his years. He says his favourite player is Messi, and that he phoned his dad excitedly saying, "Oh, you're playing against Messi." His dad phoned him, saying, "You're playing against Messi," and they both started laughing because of the mind-blowing achievement that is in itself, mate. A different planet to Messi tonight, mate. Sorry, obviously because he's part of the most incredible team the world is seeing right now, who are playing electrifying football. But he is a huge part of that. Wow. The ability to go past a man, tricks up his sleeve, the weight of pass, the pace itself, intelligence beyond belief, really. For a guy who not long ago was at Vancouver, no disrespect to any MLS side, because they clearly do have the ability to produce top talent, but Vancouver, Whitecaps, £9 million. And right now, no exaggeration, it says 54 million. If you wanted him, you'd have to pay a lot more. Please believe that. He's 19 years old and he made grown men look like fucking delinquents tonight. Delinquents. Samido, we need to talk. You're doing backwards cartwheels on the floor, yeah? You got spun. Literally, spun. it's over for you. It's been nice. I've enjoyed it. You're quite good on FIFA. I will use your Ultimate Team just because the green links to the great one. But let's be honest. Is there any recovery from a moment like that? I don't know. I really don't know. It's back to the drawing board and perhaps the Salta Vigo for you, okay? Let's get to some of your questions and comments before we go back in on what was a sensational night. A sensational night, I should just for 1 second add. That is in no small part due to this man here. I actually think that it was Kovac that transformed Alphonso Davies from a winger into a left back, but Hansi Flick has got them working. I mean, it's very difficult to criticise this man right now. He is, historically, as you can see, at the helm of some great moments for German football, and tonight will go down as one of the most epic nights the Champions League has ever seen. It was... I said I want 6 when I was watching it. And when 7th went in, I knew they were going to get 8. You could see the heads had dropped. The Barcelona players had given up. The laziness and the ego to be walking around. The shame, the lack of shame, the lack of pride in those Barcelona players. The lack of belief. Because you know in your heart of hearts that it is not possible for you to make up the ground. It's a powerful thing. And, I am a true believer that elite sport is tainted in all sorts of ways. There are all sorts of excuses that you can give. But look, they're all at it. There is all kinds of help being given to everybody. And they, Barcelona, have had it themselves. And on the night... Yeah? Okay, then. Okay. We'll talk about this, Don. We will talk about this, Don, very shortly. I want to go to your super chats. There's a lot of people in the comments. Thanks so much to everyone that is in the chat. You're all massive frauds, especially those with your freeloading fraudulent thumbs. If you could exercise those by dropping the video a damn like, that would be much appreciated. Late night fraudulencia is something that we can do, and I want you to be excited about, but I need your support, lads. I need you to just... Okay, all right. Let's have a look and see what these frauds are saying then. Jack Belgin says, fraud gang in the building. Pochettino to Barcelona, Hugh. He's refused in the past. There aren't many opportunities to get incredible jobs or do incredible things in your life, and when they come along you should grasp them with both hands. I think that he should drop the what I would call tribal aspect of his beliefs and give it a go. If anything, he should be on the list, that's for sure. I do think though that the way back for Barcelona is going to be long and hard, especially because of the amount of top wages that they are paying to some very average players or aging players, and no one else in world football is going to take those players off their hands at those prices. Pal Nemedy is the newest member of the Fraud Gang Members Club. You are well and truly appreciated, my son. I see you. Thomas J, the same to you, mate. Much love. Chris P says, I said that I loved my mother today twice. Normally it's just once a day. I mean, there is never a bad time to tell someone that you love them, okay? Alejandro Castro, you're a massive fraud. And I love you for it. Joshua Gaffney says, Hugh, thoughts on Thiago's footballing IQ? If a footballer was a Salvador Dali painting, oozing in class, able to think outside of the box, ahead of its time, Thiago is one of my favourite players in world football. There are very few like him with the ability to be that missing link between defence and attack, to be first to everything, tenacious as you like, to have the technical ability to put passes on a fucking halfpenny from 50 yards, short, long. I mean, honestly, what can't he do? He could play 10, he can play 8, He can play DM. He can do what I wish and I think more footballers should be able to do. He is an upgrade on Verratti for me, and that in itself is something. I do not understand why questions are being asked of a player who demands such a small fee. Apparently, 30 million euros. Get the job done. I want to see him in the Premier League. It's obviously not going to be at my club, but man, you want the top players to make the Prem the best league, and he is one of them. He will, again, like Guardiola has done for football, I think those around him will just become so much better. Omar Suarez says, want Messi to beat Maradona, got Madonna instead. Oh, that is incredibly harsh. It is not Lionel Messi's fault whatsoever. And if you've been to Barcelona, you will know that it's not a joke, their connection. There's a museum there. It's a shrine to the guy, and I'm sure that he calls the shots. Heads will roll. I don't know how they get out of this or what his next move is, but it's not like Argentina where he can just put out a statement saying, I'm retiring. So, yeah, how he deals with this or how they deal with this, I really don't know. It's not going to be easy because, like I said, football has changed and they have some old dons on board, and some guys who just, aren't up to it. Sergi Roberto, is that Barcelona level? Does that give Lionel Messi the respect that he deserves? Can Suarez play 45 games a season at the age of 30 odd, 32, 30, wherever he is? Vidal, what's going on here? What's going on? Busquets, we've come to the end. PK, you've had it, you've done it, it's over. It's time to move on. It's time to go! Okay. Barry McCookina. Mate, really? Is that your name? Is that actually your name? I mean, if it is, that's a swag lord name, I'll tell you. But Mr. BM, I'm going to call you, says, hughwizzy should have been in goal for Barca. That's debatable. That is debatable. James Hawkins, I see you, my fraudulent friend. That is one chiseled jaw you've got there, my handsome soldier. Yes. Yes, it is. Dreadnought says, would you take Coutinho at Arsenal now? I don't like frauds. I call them out. Massive fraudulence is on show everywhere. And if your opinion is swayed by 25 minutes of football against 11 grandfathers running around the pitch, I don't know if I'm too impressed. I can't take it away from him. It was beautiful. It's lovely. But let's not make a judgment when heads had dropped, the game was done, space is open with incredibly tired legs. It's going to happen anyway, isn't it? I don't need to tell you that he's a good player. He's a good player. We know that. Is it going to end up or transpire that he ends up in the Premier League at a club called the Arse? Quite possibly. If anything, because of his agent. I'm sure that Arsenal will manage to move some money around, and if they don't, I can't see that not happening. Arsenal are run currently by an agent who's on the radio telling fans what's what, so I would presume that Coutinho's next. You could do a lot worse, I question the lining of the pockets and the business dealings that are clearly going on, but you could do a lot worse than bringing Coutinho to Arsenal. Arsenal are fucking bang average, mate. They could do with Coutinho, That's the truth. Okay, you heard it here. Regan Watson says, after that cameo tonight, I want Coutinho on loan. Massive fraudulence, but I respect it. Okay. Rafi Rahman says, honestly, I'm not surprised that my Barca has become Messi, De Jong to Stegen and Burnley. Oh, wow. But then again, it's all just started with Josep Bartomeu. Please, Barcelona fans, I do have a Barcelona video of my channel from a few years ago when I tried to show you Fraudulencia was at work. You were warned. Okay, who we got next? I see a lot of super chatters. You're all massive frauds and much appreciated. We're going to get to each and every one of you. Do not worry yourselves. Hughwizzy, That is incredible. Hughwizzy, you massive fraud. You're looking squodge. I know you're wearing cashmere right now because you are an elite individual. I salute you. Harmar says, how much did Arsenal sell Gnabry for? It was, I think, £5 million. I should stress, though, look, people give Arsenal Football Club a lot of stick for the fact that Serge Gnabry left the club for so cheap. Yes, I'm one of them. Indeed, I am upset by it. However, the fact of the matter is that he refused to sign a contract renewal and it was his choice. So you can give the club as much stick as you want. He didn't see his future at Arsenal. That may well be because Theo Walcott and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain were already ahead of him and the club wanted to fit Alex Iwobi in. Now, life is a beautiful thing and it will show you much in hindsight. Okay, that's all we can say, really. Red Dev 777 says, someone call the police. I just witnessed 11 old men get assaulted by a German war machine. Indeed. Red Nomness says, not a single leader on that pitch for Barcelona. Messi not even attempting to win the ball back. You've lost your crown, Hugh. Barcelona are really fraud lords. God damn. God damn. Does this remind you of a certain scoreline, says Gurpreet Singh? I don't know what you're talking about. Massive fraudulence from you, though. Ash says, Hugh, you gargantuan fraud. City versus Bayern prediction. Now, that is very presumptuous of you. Are you a fortune teller? Are you completely omitting the strength and capabilities of the Lion of Lyon? Don't forget that Lyon have beaten Lyon have beaten Manchester City already. Multiple times they have shown themselves more than capable of beating Pep Guardiola. They have an incredible midfield, some electrifying pace out wide, and goals in them, with a half-decent defence that is going to be picked from as Jason Denayer makes his way out of the club to another. Is it a done deal that yet? I don't know. Manchester City's best chance of winning the Champions League, make no mistake about it. 2 games away. It's the same for PSG. But Bayern Munich have got to be your favourites. They've got to be your favourites. They have to be. The fitness levels are sensational. The football is elite. Elite individuals from front to back. Please look at the midfield and the technical quality of it. Yes, there's mobility. Yes, there is agility. Yes, there is a bit of speed, but these are real ballers who understand the game. The footballing IQ and experience of those 3 alone is world-beating level. Let alone the fact that they have a top manager who is clearly got them incredibly motivated. You'd be a fraud to bet against them. I've always said I'd love Man City to win it. Okay? If only because I'd like to put the fingers up at UEFA. I think that would throw a spanner in the works. There's a lot of fraudulence going on in these governing bodies that I think needs to be looked at, and to have the response of the audacity to take money to court and then win the Champions League immediately afterwards would be the most incredible knockout blow to football, which is lost, lads. So I don't want to hear morals or anything. I would like to see that, I'm not going to lie. However, in terms of the perfection of the patterns of play right now and the pace that is being played at, it's Bayern. It's Bayern. Let's not underestimate Neymar's ability as well to take a game when it's on his own, turn it on its head. It's not like he is on his own either. TD Shifts is the newest member of the Fraud Gang Members Club, and you are greatly appreciated. Please do spam your emojis. Let's get some espresso in this mother. Yeah? Let's get some espresso. I need to see your espresso emojis. Let's go. Let's go. Drop the video a like as well. You're all massive frauds. Look, I can do maths. That's less than 50%. Awful. Awful. Fraudulence. As bad as Barcelona tonight. Biggest fraud's going, you lot. Oh, yeah. Hey? Look at that. Look at that. Look at her. Yeah? Froth. Yeah? Flavor. Yeah? Texture. Taste. I see. That's it. I appreciate you. All of you who've got involved in the chat, questions or not, just viewing, liking, subscribing, turning those bell notifications on. You're all massively appreciated. Fraud Gang, I see you. TD Shift is from Australia. He sends love and he says, can you give me a damn like and say, okay, if you breathe oxygen. I do indeed. Dreadnought says, would you take Coutinho Arsenal now? Hope we get Thiago. Mate, what are you drinking? Alex Games says, Messi to City. Let's not be silly, lads. Yeah? Let's not be silly. We're not... This is... Are we being silly here? Is that what's going to happen? Is Barcelona... Are Barcelona going to lose Lionel Messi? I don't know. I don't know. I think he's the leader of the gang. I think he's comfortable, and I think that's why he's never left. He runs the building. Yeah, he runs the town from the top of the building. He's not going anywhere. Not in my eyes. They will change leadership. They will change direction. They will have to change a lot. We're going to look at their size shortly. Alex Matthews says, I had to do a German army hell to march to calm myself down. Tonight, I saw weapons-grade fraudulence. I'm fuming, Robbie. I need to meditate.
Good evening. Good evening.
Anthony Devine, Mr. Divine, back in the building, says, that game tonight showed me that players like Piqué, Busquets, and Suarez are slow and possibly past it. He said possibly. Possibly. Bro, you're right. That's it. You don't need any more evidence. The fact that they've been able to win 3 titles since 2015 is unbelievable. And that is in large part down to Lionel Messi's brilliance. He has single-handedly saved that club from this happening a lot earlier. This has been coming, lads. The warning signs have been there. From PSG, from Liverpool, from... drawing to Celta Vigo, all these type of things. This is not the Barcelona that we once knew. That is for sure. That much is for sure. It is finished. It is done. Deepa Bam de Soccer is the newest member of the Fraud Gang Members Club. Welcome. You are truly appreciated. Do turn those notifications on. Fraudification Gang awaits you. The Discord is in the chat as well. There are fraudulent moderators doing their thing, 12 DJ, and others present. Let yourselves be known, moderators. Purdy says, hello, my fraud. Have to see AFC Bell's Partey tweets. Incoming. We will be going over the Twitter sphere tonight. Isaiah's Luna says, hi, Hugh. You missed my chat from California. Isaiah, I see both your chats. Barcelona doesn't need a superstar, he says. They need a creator. Look at their starting 11. Other than Messi, who was going to create chances? Vidal, Roberto, Busquets. Barcelona need to up their scouting and youth development. Otherwise, skullface. And I presume the skullface means dead. Dead, finished, nail in the coffin. And that's what Felipe Coutinho did tonight. He put the final nail in Barcelona's coffin. And that is the beauty of life. Life, my fraudulent friends, is one long tragic comedy that will come back and slap you in the face when you least expect it. This is the beauty. You got to enjoy it. Soak it up, breathe it in, and just hope it's not you that gets slapped next. We work, head down, focus with a plan, and avoid that for as long as possible. Chris P says, apparently Barcelona want Wenger. They want Wenger. He said no. And he is so smart to have said no to what is undoubtedly a poisoned chalice. Lionel Messi cannot save you. There are so many other holes to fill that are going to take so much money. I don't know how they're going to do it, honestly. Joshua Gaffney says that he loves Thiago Alcantara. Okay, what's this one? CDH saying, Alphonso Davies, making us proud. He is indeed. He's one of you. He's one of yours. He's one of your very own, isn't he? You are a Canadian fraud. And he's very proud. And so you should be, mate. I don't know much about the history of Canadian football, but I would say this much. He is surely the best player that you've produced ever. I can't think of one off the top of my head who has brought so much just wow when I watch him. And very exciting for the future. CDK? No, not CDK. CDH, welcome to the Fraud Gang Members Club. You are massively appreciated, as is Melon Dope. Melon Dope. Mate. I've got nothing to say, but I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy, believe me. I'm so happy. Happy New Year.
We have a PK quote here from J Ignition, who says, "The club needs changes. We must bring in new blood to change this dynamic, and if necessary, I would be the first to leave." Well, he's sacrificing himself there, and heads are going to have to roll. He may well be one of them. I would stress that if you separate the emotional side of a Gerard Piqué, it's more than time. He's done his service. He's been an incredible defender for them, who has achieved it all. He is part of that decade of dominance. The domination, the likes of which we have never seen. People laughed at Arsenal being knocked out consistently in the round of 16. They got knocked out because they were constantly coming up against these two. And these two tonight have just shown us how football has changed. Melon Dope says, happy to be here, you absolute fraud. My son. Joseph Jimenez Silveira says, hi Hugh, love to your mum. Cheers, mate. I'll tell her. She's probably watching, to be honest. I know you're a massive fraud. You're always in here, aren't you? Huh? Okay. Thoughts on Wenger declining a Barcelona contract recently? Hope you've been well. Much love from Phoenix, Arizona. Arizona in the building. Listen, Fraud Gang, I need to know where you're watching from. This is an essential part of our community. We are international now. Yeah, we're worldwide, global. I see dons in Qatar who are members of the Fraud Gang Members Club. I've seen them in Russia, Fraud Gang Members Club. Brazil, Members Club. Where are you watching from? Let me know. It could be my next destination. We may well have to link up. Yeah, link up TV thing. Yeah, okay. Arizona in the building. Who's this? Chops Howell 98 says, did Barcelona bottle it by not going in for Bruno? Bruno is not fixing Barcelona. Bruno has had an incredible impact at Manchester United. Please let that be. Please allow that to be. The ifs, buts and maybes are totally irrelevant. What we have on our hands here is actuality. The actuality of Barcelona being finished. That is what you've seen tonight. I don't want to hear anything else about 8-2. You Arsenal fan talking about 8-2. You got battered. You got dominated. Your Finnish players have fallen over from left to right, walking around like they own the place, milking the club, milking the biggest club in world football. It's an embarrassment. An embarrassing, sorry state of affairs that has to be fixed from the very top. Don't get me started. Please just replay the diss that's on my YouTube channel. Okay then. If you look hard enough, you will see that there is truth. There are gems being dropped from the skies. I'm putting little diamonds in your pocket and telling them you can go and do what you please with them. Yeah? Okay.
Let me talk! Let me talk! Let me talk!
My boy Blue says, La Masia need to return to Catalan player development instead of buying youth players. They need a new generation spine instead of Galactico spending because that sure hasn't worked. You know, you're so right. You're so right that I understand you and you understand me. We are Football Don's elite minds. The home of hard-hitting home truths. That's where we are. Electrifying entertainment. Make sure you're subscribed. What have they produced? They're moving like Arsenal. You've made 2 players in the last 15 years. You was totally reliant on the likes of Xavi and Iniesta and this family that all grew up together. Yeah, since then, what have you produced? Let's see it. Let's see the results. No, you're spending hundreds of millions of pounds on bang average nobodies. Hundreds of millions of pounds, £380 million in a transfer window, and you're still not winning a trophy. That's disgraceful. This manager, okay, I don't want to point the finger, and it isn't totally his fault, because look, when you're given a job like Barcelona, or given the opportunity, you go. But even he himself has said, I was shocked that they offered me the job because I don't have the experience. Sorry, what? What's happened here then? What's happened here? Who is making the decisions that lead to men who do not feel up to the task being at the helm of the biggest club in the world? You have you have to do better. You have to do better. What exactly qualifies this man for the job? Please. When you are manager of Barcelona, it is akin to being the leader of the fraud gang, okay? It is no different from being the coach of, or the captain of the LA Lakers, right? You need a bit of sauce, yeah? You can't be a sauceless fraud, shriveling up like a cold testicle in Stoke on a Tuesday evening. No. At the sign of a test, at the sign of a challenge, we rise, yeah? We get up, we work, head down, focused, and we show inspiration through something, words or movement or hugs or anything. I'm getting nothing here, absolutely nothing. A man who knows he is well out of his depth. And it's not his fault totally. These players they've dropped the ball. They don't give a damn. They are not used to this that they came up against tonight, which is a new mentality of we win or we die.
You've got to fucking die to get 3 points.
The work rate. That's the difference here, really. It's not like some of those players aren't capable of special moments, but there is a lack of intensity, that much is for sure. If PK was to leave, whoever they add would need to have something, youthful about him, something that they can grow with, because they've outgrown him. Vast Spectre says Thiago at Liverpool next season. Sauce. Yeah, he sounds excited. If that happens, mate, that is an incredible transfer. Wow, what a player. The league deserves to see. Chris P says, I'd rather lose 10-2 over 2 legs than 8-2 in one match. Simple. Is Barcelona the banter club now? Wow. How time flies, how it changes, and how you've got to live this moment. Barcelona Football Club conceding 8 in 90 minutes. Scenes. Absolute scenes of glorious emotion. Absolute scenes. I don't know how to say this, but there is no comeback for some of those guys. The careers are going to have to be ended abruptly. Shame. Clear lack of effort. Whoever takes that job has an incredible amount of work on their hands. I don't know. I really don't know who's going to want to do that. They're going to have to offer silly amounts of money again. Jay Legondre says, what's up, Hugh? Do you think the Bundesliga is set to lead the way in football the way Spain did for years? The tactics and recruitment seem ahead. It's a beautiful question on a beautiful evening, and you're going to get a beautiful answer from a beautiful man. Nagelsmann is the one to watch right now. Bayern Munich are obviously something else entirely, but historically they have, proven track record of being the most dominant force in German football. Leipzig, not everyone's cup of tea. I get that the newness of it, and the fact that it is so heavily sponsored by a conglomerate, corporate, evil Axis thing. Red drink, energy drink clubs. There's some questionable loopholes that these clubs can run through now, and you know, the German people and fans have spoken clearly and let it be known exactly how they feel. But in terms of what they've done on the pitch, you're achieving things way beyond expectation, and there are clearly methods that need to be looked at. If not just him being nabbed, someone will come in for him soon enough. Make no mistake, top level managers now all seem to be coming from the Bundesliga, and this links back into what we said initially. My fraudulent friends, please make no mistake, I'm dropping gems on a nightly basis. You're tuned in to Late Night Fraudulence. Football has become what the Bundesliga has pushed, and that is the Klopp effect. That is the high intensity. That is why Bayern Munich tonight were so good. It's years of having to get over Barcelona's style of play. It's years of perfecting it through Pep Guardiola. It's now years of having a different nemesis to deal with. Jurgen Klopp, game changer in world football. Undeniable. Undeniable. Look at Hasenhüttl, what he's doing. Maybe Austrian, but has come again from a similar position in the Bundesliga. Look at how they are actually at the forefront of European football right now, with a small, I think a small change over the next year. You're gonna have to see Liverpool change. You're gonna have to see them change. I think this year, maybe Southampton are ones to watch as well. The game has gone in terms of giving players the time and space to do what they wanted with it, and that is why a team like Barcelona tonight suffered, and it's why certain players aren't going to be able to cope. It's why certain players will come to the Premier League and drop that 30%. Yeah, you scored 20 goals in your league. Yeah, okay, come to the Prem. You're not getting more than 12. The levels, the pace, the time on the ball necessary to make those incredible decisions, elite levels are required. Harry Haas, 26, one of the fraud gang members of the Mod Club. I'm hearing on the streets, Eddie Howe to Barca. I don't know what kind of streets you're hanging around on, but the decisions and conversations that take place on these streets are questionable at best. I would get inside. It's lockdown. It's dangerous out. Be safe. Stay safe. Keep those around you safe too. Eddie Howe, what are you talking about? What are you on about? No. Okay? No. Come on now. My boy Blue, 32, says, also a fraud gang member from a tiny town in Texas where I'm a teacher. We're so isolated that most of our students have never seen a soccer or football match. I mean, that is difficult to believe, but I do. I've got people in the chat who are watching from Brixton, from Saudi Arabia, from India, from Manchester, from South Africa. We have so many countries. Unbelievable. Norwich, Australia, Adelaide in the building. I see you. Toronto. You are much appreciated. We are a global army. Let's show the power of the army by dropping the video a damn like. Support your local fraud. Slidey Stephen says Thiago may or may not leave, but they've got Sane on the way. Oh my God. Knees are trembling at the idea. Sane adding to... I mean, you know what was funny as well? Kingsley Coman has an opportunity when he came on that I think 9 times out of 10 he probably buries. It was a great sliding challenge, I think, by Jordi Alba to block it, but the pace that they have off the bench alone is frightening to young defenders. So imagine what it's like to 30-something-year-olds who are struggling by the 55th minute. Yeah, they're done. They're done for the evening. I don't want to see any more of Alfonso. Samido! Oh, mate, you're finished out here. You're done. You're done. You just got Hector Bellerined by a Douglas Costa. That's what happened. The recovery for you is a long way. The road home back to Appreciationville is a long one, my son. Strap in. I don't know whether you survived tonight. I really don't. Ah, dear. Tom Snack. Let's just take this in for a second as well, lads. You know, there are... In sport, there are elite moments. I'm doing a series. It is coming to you where I'm going to go through sporting moments that I've kind of used to track my life by, really. Moments of absolute brilliance in various types of sports. As an example, because, you know, I don't want to give away the football ones, some of the moments from other sports include Jonah Lomu playing against England and transforming the game on one performance, walking over grown men, bouncing them off him, or Mutaya Muralitharan against England at Lord's, single-handedly destroying a country to the point where people started accusing him of cheating because he was so good. There are moments in sport that will define an era and the changing of a god, or the need for the whole sport to make moves. Tonight was one of those nights for sure. You have elite dons from top to bottom in that Bayern Munich side who have not fulfilled their full potential yet, even though some of them are in their 30s. And we can talk about how, you know, I personally have said about Arsenal signing of Willian that it's a dangerous game signing a 32-year-old to a 3-year contract. If these 30-year-olds are anything to go by, that's a bloody good deal. Because if they can keep going until they're 34, 35 at this pace, and I'm not suggesting that Willian is of the fitness levels or standard of a Bayern Munich lot, but the 30s are not necessarily the time to write a man off just yet. Okay, all right, and I'm happy to say that too. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. 22 years old, loving every day of life. I'm so happy.
I'm so happy, believe me. I'm so happy. Happy.
Listen, you're as young as you feel or look, and I look damn good. So we just keep it that way, yeah. Creative username says Klopp has posters of Hasenhüttl in his bedroom. Oh dear. A Southampton fan, clearly. Tom Snack says, don't get me wrong, they're both greats, or goats even, and we're lucky to see them play. But the difference, he says, is that CR7 would not have let tonight happen because he's a leader. Messi lacks leadership. Hashtag Pornhub. Okay. Hashtag questionable. Cristiano Ronaldo is definitely a leader. He is also clearly a narcissist, and that can be to the detriment of those around you. He is quite, you know, he's got evidence, history of pulling teams over the line, and there's no denying that Real Madrid have taken quite some time to become something again since his departure. Would he himself alone have made the difference tonight? I don't believe he would, no. I don't think so. I think tonight you've come up against a juggernaut. I think tonight is like getting hit in the face by a prime Mike Tyson. There's not much coming back from it. It's very difficult to avoid. The writing is almost on the wall before a ball's been kicked. I predicted that they were going to get smashed. Murphy! Yeah? Okay, we need to talk. Yeah? We need to talk. Messi, he does what he wants. No, bro, he doesn't do what he wants. No, he doesn't. He's not being allowed to do what he wants, to be honest. He's not been looked after, catered for. He's not being serviced properly. And we all know what it's like to not be serviced properly. Yeah? You got to switch things up. Yeah? It's the switch up. It's the come up. No pun intended. Jesus!
I would say that,
I need fucking help. Listen, there are 4,650 of you in the chat. There are 2,432 fraudulent likes. It would be greatly appreciated if we could change the numbers up a little bit. However, much love to your mothers for joining in. This has been already an incredible bit of late night fraudulence. We've been going for an hour already and it's flown by, for me at least. I hope you're enjoying the daily content. The football talk will not stop as we move towards the new Premier League season, the European Championships, the World Cup, all going to be happening within the next 12 to however many months. We're going to get down and dirty, okay? We're going in balls deep. We're going to be covering all the latest breaking news for that ass. We're going to be doing match reviews, watch-alongs, career modes. Football Manager will return due to popular demand. Let me know in the comments which teams you want to see us start with. Do we want to go from the bottom to the top, or do we want to just start at the top and dominate, looking down on all of the fraudulence? We've got the Arsenal tier list video ready to drop. I'm going to drop it on an S. I'm going to show you which players I think the club should be keeping and selling, and we will move into some Arsenal talk very swiftly because there is breaking news for that ass concerning transfer dealings. It just so happens, we're going to give a little bit of a shout out here as well. We'll do a little bit of a Twitter shout out here. The AFC Bell, quite reliable this Don, works quite hard, tweeting his little tweets. Arsenal news in Arabic. But don't be worried if you don't understand. We have got the translate tweet button because I know for one that I don't read Arabic. However, this could be potentially really good information because he's very rarely tweeting stuff out of the necessity to tweet. You know, a lot of tweeters, these in-the-know source frauds, they tweet on a daily basis like they have new information being sent to them that is of any use. It's massively fraudulent and they just need the clicks. Please pay note. Now, this Don is not necessarily like that. Information confirmed for Thomas Partey will join Arsenal this summer after agreeing to a 4-year contract. The strength of the deal will be the penalty clause estimated at 50 million euros. The player will not play for Atletico Madrid again. Atletico de Madrid. More details next week in a special and exclusive coverage on our account. The AFC Bell with the news for the ass. Oh, mate, if this is true. Oh, if this is true. My club. Yeah? Gargantuan. The knock is different. Different. Yeah? This would be huge. This is potentially... there could be an arse party about to happen, okay? The pants are warming up. They're warming up. They're warms in. I've had too much espresso. We need to calm down. I was going to go for another one, but I think I need to calm it down because this is the type of news that I like injected into my veins. That is the truth. The God's honest truth. Big players with big aspirations of transforming this club into an actual thing. Mikel Arteta, my son, Arsene's son. Arsene and Pep's son, Pep Artiola. The man who brings trophies. The man with the plan, the man who must be backed, the man who we're relying on because if it doesn't work, oh good God, we need to give him what he wants and what he needs, and we need to do it as soon as possible. And if, and it is a big if Arsenal are to get Thomas Partey over the line, oh my sons, our midfield is immediately being upgraded massively, okay? Please be excited.
I would say that, be excited.
I should stress that this is by no means confirmed. This is by no means official, and we are working off the rumour mill. We can only hope that there is truth to what we see before our eyes. My fraudulent friends, Chris P has said, watch Barcelona try and rebuild. Heavy defeats the last 2 Champions League campaigns, heavily in debt, and reckon Messi will be on his way soon. Dramatic 12 is back in the building and he says, you frauds! Like the video if you breathe oxygen. Have a good night, my fraudulent friend. Dramatic 12, thanks so much for joining us. You are massively appreciated. The normal one from Australia, down under, says, if you're in Messi's position, would you honestly stay at Barcelona or join Arsenal and partner Aubameyang? Join. You know, Arsenal fans can be some of the most delusional fans online. It doesn't actually have to be confined to the online arena. Arsenal fans are some of the most delusional that walk the face of this earth. They convince themselves that bang average players are special. They need time to be told that the ones they love are not as good as the ones they loathe. And in all honesty, they're just dreaming if they think they're getting anyone like Lionel Messi. There are levels. Let's just stick to the parties. That's good enough. Okay? Messi, yeah, that's not going to happen. He wants to play Champions League football, clearly. He deserves one more Champions League trophy, and that is what he's going to be chasing. I know you're saying it in jest, but in all honesty, would I stay there? Yes, I would, because he's got the rule of the roost. He's king, and he sits on a throne of liars. No, he sits on a throne where he can call the shots, and I expect him to call some shots. Tom Snack says Barcelona ran out of money to pay the referees to this game like they did against Arsenal, Chelsea and PSG. And the Willian deal equals retirement FC. I've got more people telling me where they're watching from. Incredible fraudulence. As we have Portsmouth, Bolton, Frankfurt. I mean... Okay. Yeah, and we've got some suggestions as to who we should start with. I'm presuming that's what that is. I thought you were just randomly telling me where you are. No, I don't want to know where you are anymore. We did that. No. You want me to start with Frankfurt? Why? Craig says, big up Whizzle, I just won 45 quid on buying tonight because of what you said about them this season. My son! My son! Oh, that makes me happy. Yes. Yeah, we stick it to the bookies. Craig's, he had his ears peaked, yeah? He had those satellite dishes open, ready to receive those gems. Open those pockets. Open those pockets. What's creeping out of those pockets? Whose pocket is this? Oh, fucking hell, it's Alphonso Davies. That's Lionel Messi jumping out of his pocket. You've made 45 quid. Now do yourself a favour and stop gambling, and you'll be a winner for life, okay? I'm not joking. Tom Snack, you're a massive, massive fraud, and greatly appreciated. Leo Aguilar says Alphonso Davies robbed Semedo into oblivion. True Ballers FC squadron. Indeed, he is. Radu Pipas, mate, come here, my son. He says, I've been a massive freeloading fraud for too long. I repent, my friend. You'll never walk alone. Who's the last team to beat Bayern in the Champions League? Indeed, my son. And that is what is so crucial to tonight's victory and explaining how football is changing. Make no mistake, you have to be incredibly proud of what Liverpool have achieved, of course. But don't underestimate as well. I guess you're the last person who would underestimate. But the power of what they have done to change football. This is the reason why Bayern Munich have had to up the levels so intensely. You saw the evidence of it tonight. It is almost unbeatable, really, I think. Clinical finishing, The pace and explosive ability from out wide to beat a man, the intrinsic level of the weighted pass to it's all almost perfect. The pace out wide, it was sad watching Barcelona. They are turning into I don't even want to. I can't say Leicester 2050. That's a disrespect to Leicester because they had the likes of Mahrez doing bits. Kante was incredible. No, it's not that. This is West Brom. This is West Bromwich. This is West Bromolona. Yeah, West Bromolona. Awful, not good enough. And wow, Barcelona fans must be down in the dumps tonight, mate, because it doesn't get any worse than this. I've been there. I've seen this. I've seen it a couple of times. Recovery. It takes a while. Chris P says, wouldn't it be awesome if we got Sancho over United? Wait, what? Oh, mate. Oh, God. He loves Aubameyang. I'd love that. Mate, I'm going to just break this for you. Look, the games that are going on are going to lead to the guy getting signed, okay? Because the embarrassment will be too much for United to deal with. There's no way they're not going to sign that guy. I just cannot believe that as a club as big as United, with the financial power behind them, with the ability to make money themselves, there are no excuses. You need top talent. You need landmark signings. You need to back the manager. And whilst I do actually think that if United were really smart, they would use that money elsewhere. That is my personal opinion. Don't bite the head off. I just think you could plug like 3 or 4 holes with very good players with fucking basic level of scouting. Very basic. 30 to 40 million pound players. You can get 3 of them potentially for the price that you're going to end up paying for Sancho, basically. You're not telling me there's not 3 or 4 players who could fix United and make that squad more capable. Unless you're totally reliant on individual brilliance and not really expecting too much of the coaching. I don't know that that's the best decision, but it will probably happen. Okay, I say probably, just, you know, we have seen them fraud their way out of things in recent times, but I see so many fraudulent frauds. Elite dons who have joined the Fraud Gang Members Club, please raise your Nespressos. I need to see you in the building, okay? Beautiful scenes. Beautiful scenes. Okay, next up, we have on that list Patrick Noruzi Rad, who says, hey Hugh, had results day yesterday and government moderation lowered my grade, so I missed my med offer. Thanks for the vids. It helps distract myself because I'm feeling very low. Hope we get party. Okay, right. So let's talk about this then. Wow. What do we call that? We call that massive fraudulence, because I saw people who were predicted in their mocks 3 A stars and have been given 3 Bs despite never having got Bs before. There's foul play at work, isn't there? So don't feel hard done by. Feel that you're going to have to do things differently, okay? Maybe they'll be able to adjust them or readjust them. Maybe people will demand that. Maybe you should demand that. I don't know how to act on that, but that's got to be devastating, especially if you've put a lot of work in. Everything's messed up right now, isn't it, really? It's not a great time. So I do hope to offer some kind of escape. Please join me as we raise the spirits and say no to fraudulence. Yeah? We will not stand for it. You'll find a way, okay? If you want something, you'll find a way. And I'm sure, like you, there have been a lot of people affected adversely by those results and the way that they've been worked out. I don't understand how they're doing it myself, but what I will say is that sounds fucking out of order, doesn't it, really? To be playing with people's lives like that. Freeloading frauds. we know all about those, don't we? Listen, it's not the end of the world, right? Regardless of whether you get knocked down, what you do is you get up. If someone tells you it's not good enough, you go and make it better, and you give them no choice. You give them no choice but to accept you. Cream will rise. Cream will rise to the top. Huh? I've got my faith in you. Stazek. Oh, wow. I'm going to do this, okay? Razizievsky. Stazek Razizievsky. I hope I've said that right. If I haven't, I'm really sorry. As a fraud from Poland, it pains me that Lewandowski won't be getting the Ballon d'Or this year. He's been frauded out of that, hasn't he? He's scored over 50-odd goals. He is quite likely to be there or thereabouts come that trophy lifting ceremony post-final. And I don't think he's ever going to have a season as good as this. And with Barcelona doing so badly and Messi with no trophies for the first time since he was 20 years old, bear in mind that he's 33 now, there has never been a better opportunity. Cristiano's been knocked out as well. It was all made for him. So yeah, I feel your pain, but just rest on the fact that right now, there's no striker in world football touching him. I don't think there has been for a minute. Benzema is up there, but he's not. Clearly, he's not on that level. I don't think that it helps that his side haven't been as focused on him. He's more like a helper, Benzema. He's an abused helper, a servant who has been overworked. We could probably have seen a lot more goals had there not been others that he was required to feed. But, you know, that's for another time. He is the best of the best. So, yeah, say it with chest and scream it from the top of the mountain, my son. He's very unlucky to have missed out. Nathan Ashford says, Hugh, could you imagine if the Don of Dons, Chris Wilder, was watching those Barcelona frauds just walk about the pitch from the touchline? Listen, I got really kind of irked, and I do when I watch any team and I see that visibly you have given up or you are not pulling your weight, watching the world go past, pointing at others. You know, in terms of receiving the ball, being in space is the most important thing. Your first touch, the next, I guess. But if you purposely hide behind others to block those lines, which I see on a regular basis, you will be called out for fraudulence. You're not pulling your weight. You're nicking a living. And there are people who would die to wear the badge that you're wearing. Fix up. Because you will be cast aside like half of this Barcelona side are about to be, if that's you. It doesn't have to be Barcelona. It could be Barnsley, Brentford. I'm not interested. It was awful what we saw tonight. And Chris Wilder wouldn't stand for that. He wouldn't stand for that. He lets them know in post-match interviews. You have to respect the truth. Alex says Perisic was great, but he's 31. With Willian, do you worry for how much football Pepe and Saka will play next season? No. In fact, I'd say it's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite. What Willian potentially can do is allow a player like Saka to develop at a rate that is safe. The inclusion of a player with the experience of William will not only help those youngsters around him in training, but also give them the little time off that they need in what is a long season over 4 competitions. Saka is being thrust into the deep end and is not going to be able to last, or will break early on if he's not given the time that I think a Willian or having another squad member of that quality gives you. Pepe, I think, is starting to come into his own, and I would start him ahead of Willian. I think Willian's got a preferred position to out wide, actually, and there may well be the intention of playing him in different roles, whether that's on the left or through the middle, and you know. The potential of what we can get out of Willian is quite exciting, I'll be honest. I hope that he doesn't let me down. We've got no choice but to back him now as well, so as fans, I suggest that you get behind him. Tom Snack says, the fact is, Real Madrid are still struggling without Cristiano. They had to change to a more defensive form of football. Look at the goal difference and the attack. Indeed, football is changing, and the world in which Barcelona and Real Madrid, and Manchester United for that matter, were so dominant in the market with, able to just pluck the best players from anywhere because the dream, the allure of playing alongside Lionel Messi was so great. The guaranteed titles that it would give you when they signed the likes of David Villa or Thierry Henry. You know, you're joining because you know you're playing with the best and you're guaranteed to bring back those medals. That's not the case anymore. That is not the case anymore. And as I said earlier on in the video, that has not been the case since 2015, in all honesty. 2015, I don't care that they've won the league a few times since then. That's not the point. The money that has been spent has been done so frivolously. It's shocking, actually, to look here at the sides and compare and contrast. And that is what we're going to do right now, my sons. 8-2 on the night. We look at the right backs in Semedo, who is doing cartwheels on the floor, kissing the feet of Alphonso Davies, and compare him to the right back of Bayern Munich, who is running the game, controlling it from top to bottom. We look at the right midfield. Sergi Roberto. Look, with Serge Gnabry, electrifying, emotionally elite baller. On the left, Vidal. I mean, slotting it in. Just what is this? This midfield has no legs. Vidal. Okay, De Jong, Messi. I'm going to allow De Jong and Messi. It wasn't his best game. Dispossessed. I saw you getting dispossessed, bro. I don't care if you're telling me the stats aren't here. I saw it with my own eyes. Roberto, dispossessed. Ridiculously easily. Busquets, he's slower than Xhaka. There was once upon a time when this man used to run football. When he was on a pitch, he controlled the game like not many footballers ever have done. Beautiful little subtle skills to drag the ball away from players and release others. Vision to pick up passes from 5 yards to 50 yards. The pace wasn't a factor. But if you don't have pace around him, he's very limited. In fact, he's just giving you sideways stuff, really. The legs here along this midfield compared to the legs and balance in particular of this five. Embarrassing. At left back, we have talked about this child, this 19-year-old kid. Some of you in the comments, if you're doing A-levels and whatnot, this is how old you are. Don't feel too down if you didn't get the grades, mate. Do you know what I mean? Don't feel too down. "19 years old with the world at your feet." It just blows my mind, you know. We've not seen the best of this lot. This is the scary thing. They're not done. There's more drama in store here. But this was a special occasion that will not be forgotten. Alan Kisilo said, "Man just finished work and I'm so happy to join in the chat."
I'm so happy, believe me. I'm so happy. Happy New Year.
A really out of words for my Barcelona. Big up to all the frauds in the chat. Alan, mate, I'm with you. I'm with you on this It's painful, painful night. Kashaf Ali is a massive fraud. You are a certified fraud gang member. Sandboys says, Hugh, what about Wenger's comment saying he refused Barcelona because he wanted to coach a top team, not a sinkhole? Source is just trust me. Yeah, I think he's made the right decision. That would have been... Oh, it would have been awful. Wenger, I couldn't have seen him torn apart like today. The memes would have been unreal if he was at the helm tonight. Chris P says, oh, come on. Don't be a fraud. We're not getting Sancho, but don't pretend it wouldn't be awesome, even just for lording it over United. Their fans convinced Sancho makes them title contenders, with a laughing emoji. The disrespect that Chris P is showing Manchester United fans is unrivaled. United are capable of closing the gap with the Sancho, that's for sure. They are. He gives you a guaranteed 10 goals, 10 assists in the Prem. I'm almost sure of it. Maybe more. Whether that is the right move for United now is debatable. However, it's what's got fans' tongues wagging, and that's what we want. Yeah, we want the tongues wagging. Don't clip that, please. Don't do that. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, God. The thing is, once you've set your heart on something, you really just want that thing, you know? And I think that's what Manchester United fans want. Chris P, there will be no Sancho at Arsenal. But to say that he will not improve them is a little bit fraudulent. I think he improves any team in world football right now. Bo Sahal says, DC or Stipe? Mate, if you don't know, get to know. I'm a big Stipe fan, and I just have not got any time for this massive fraud. Yeah? Tell me when the baby's due, okay? Let me know. I'll send some flowers. I don't like fraudulent winners. I like things to be earned in the right way. We're not riding on coattails here, yeah? We're reliant on ourselves. We make it happen. Fake belts. Interim champs. Fraudulence. And it's not totally his own fault, okay? It's not. I understand that. It must have been a real head to be facing off against Jones constantly. The mental battles that he has lost have certainly taken a toll on him, but I can tell when someone is true, someone is themselves. It shines through. And there's a lot of fraudulence about that man. So I would like to see him knocked out and put to sleep. However, I just hope Stipe is ready. I hope he's ready. Let's go out like a king. Let's go out like a warrior. Yeah? Oh, the last dance. Please don't let me down. There's a lot of freeloading frauds in this building. If you wouldn't mind dropping the video a damn like and subscribing to the channel if you're new, it would be greatly appreciated. We move to Rafi Rahman, who says, honestly, I don't know why no one is talking about Spurs and how Mourinho dug deep and saved them and the direction they want to go in the future. Sorry, what? Do you know where you are? Are you lost? Do you need some directions? No, look, Jose did very well to turn the season around because I think they were 11th. Were they 11th or 14th when he took over? I think they were 11th. But you're going to have to qualify for the Europa League. Qualification for the Europa League. I'm really looking forward to All or Nothing. Is that what it's called? Is it called All or Nothing? Tottenham. Tottenham actually, they thought, what should we call it? What do we win? Nothing. Well, we've got to have that in then, haven't we? Yeah. All or Nothing. Close but no cigar. You know? The Nearly Men. We wish we could have. Wow, it was epic, wasn't it? But no. This is the home of electrifying football talk. Yeah, this is the home of generational content. This is what they call Tier 1 YouTube. Okay, and as a result, my fraudulent friend, what's your name? Rafi Rahman, Mr. Rahman. With all due respect to my Australian friend, we steer clear of fraudulence. Yeah? We do not celebrate mediocrity. We do not promote failure. And we will study. We will study to improve the knowledge, okay? Massive fraudulence is on show whenever this club are talked about, and let it be known that it is 12 years, 6 months, 24 days, 7 hours, 8 minutes, and oh no, 12 years, 6 months, 24 days, 7 hours, and 9 minutes since Spurs last won a trophy. This is why no one is taking them seriously. This is why they will not be spoken of on this channel. This is why I don't ever want to hear a word out of your squeaky little mouth again. I don't know why no one's talking about Spurs. It's all fun and games, okay? Let's talk about Spurs. Let's talk about Spurs. I know you want to talk about Spurs. Let's do it, okay? You've signed Højbjerg. You've got rid of Kyle Walker-Peters. You got rid of all your Kyle Walkers. All the Kyle Walkerness has gone. You're going to have balance in your midfield if Jose Mourinho can patch up his patchy relationship with Tanguy Ndombele, who is a top talent, despite the fact that I do question the ability of his knee to get through a whole season. That's a player who we haven't seen even the beginning of. We've seen glimpses of what he's capable of outside of the boot passes, both foot, vision, turn. He can do quite a lot. And if you put him next to Lo Celso, who again is going to be warmed into the league, is going to be, hopefully, well, with the balance of a Højbjerg at the bottom of that, you've got potential. That said, I say that said because there is an asterisk here. If Spurs can't fix that thing that is clearly going on, and he has made a scapegoat, which Mourinho likes to do, there have been links with Inter Milan and whatnot, you know. I don't know how you fix that, because to me, if you are playing under Jose Mourinho, having like Dele Alli involved in counter-attacking is not helping. It's really not. So it's a question for other Spurs fans, though. Yeah? I will throw it to those in the chats. Here we go. Colorado Guna says, it's absolutely laughable that we haven't paid the release clause for Slobosley. 25 mil, suck one, Raul. Colorado Guna telling Raul exactly what he thinks. There are rumours circulating about Raul Sanllehi tonight. We will be talking about them in tomorrow's video. I don't know how much truth there is to them, but it remains to be seen. Things are not all rosy at the Os. I think that much can be said. The normal one says Aubameyang arguably would have got Lewandowski numbers with a team like that. I don't think that's even debatable. I think that's a given. I think if you put him in Manchester City's side, he's capable of getting 40 in a season with the amount of chances that they create. Tom Snack says, to all the freeloading frauds, could you like the damn video? Tom, what an absolute hero. You and me, you and me, you and me. Chris P says, Sancho doesn't make up a 33-point gap, though. Indeed. There's going to have to be more work done there, but you would hope, as a United fan at least, that would be something to wake up for. I'm watching games that Jadon Sancho starts in. I'm watching them. We're going to see special moments. There's no need to be salty. There's no need. It's not an endearing characteristic, you know? Enjoy, okay? Just because your Christmas presents are second-hand socks from down the road doesn't mean your next door neighbour shouldn't enjoy that new PlayStation 5, baby. Yeah? You sit by the window and you watch. You watch me play this game. Yeah? You watch from the window. When you can get, you can knock on the door next year and see if you're let in. You see if you qualify. Because it's a man's only room. Men only. No. Men and women only. No boys and girls. Yeah? There's an age limit. You got qualified to get up in the smoking room, boy. Yeah? Raise the levels. Then we talk. Right now, you're bang average. You're bang average. Bang average.
Let me talk. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Talking about 33-point gap. Arsenal have got to make up a 50-point gap. What, is Thomas Partey doing that? Is he? Hey, listen. Much love to everyone that's tuned in. We've been here for nearly 2 hours. I don't know where the time goes or how my mouth doesn't get tired. My mouth is the Thomas Muller of the YouTube game. Jeez! Unstoppable, even in its... Yeah. Goons Armory, GSA. How you doing, my son? Hope you're well. What is that? ZAR. Are you in Zanzibar? Oh, no, you're in South Africa. That's a South African rand. Huh. Chicken on the ball. Let's not do that. Oh, chicken on a ball. Let's not do that. 8-2 is humbling medicine. Indeed it is. Chicken on a ball is something that, you know, as they are a team in the Premier League, we will touch on occasionally. I don't want any Tottenham fans to feel left out. It's all banter. But, you know, in all honesty, is this banter? Yes, I'd say it's banter at your expense. 12 and a half years of it. Colorado Guna says there are rumours that Raul got fired because of the internal audit that happened because of the £72 million deal for Pepe. We are a knockoff mafia. I've warned you. I have warned you. Beware of what is going on at the club right now. It is quite clear for an imbecile with 3 brain cells to see that there are questionable movements being done in the market, questionable decisions being made from up top that are influencing things directly on the pitch. And they are yet to prove themselves. Let's make that very clear. Let's make that very clear. They're on fraud watch. Raul is on fraud watch. Please do update me with your thoughts. Let me know them in the comment section below. It has been a special evening. We have been treated to some very, very entertaining football, the likes of which Europa League teams rarely produce. This was something that I know you haven't seen for quite some time and will have shocked you to your core. Okay? A lot of people don't watch anything else except the Premier League. They know nothing of Bayern Munich's ability, except when they turn up to demolish teams from London. They've done it to Spurs. They've done it to Chelsea. They've now done it to Barcelona. Who is next on that list? Oh, wow. Incredible scenes. Cash Chucker says bang average equals... Oh, wow. He's accusing the fraud of being a massive fraud. Mate, I'm trying here so hard. Honestly, I will find you. I will find you in that list. Where is you? Where is you? Where art thou? Shout out to all the new members of the Fraud Gang Members Club. I see you, and I found you. Mr. Chuckers. Mr. Chuckers, you are much appreciated. You are a certified Fraud Gang member. And he says, if Griezmann walked off the pitch after 10 seconds and cried in the toilet all night, he wouldn't have been more useless. Why did Barcelona loan Coutinho again? Anyone who wouldn't have him at Arsenal is mad. Now what you saying, Mr. Chuckers? Now what you saying? Yeah? Never doubt. The Lord of the Frauds is here for that ass. I'm coming in. Yeah? Get ready. It's you and me all night. Yeah? Chris P says, I watch, I will see, and Sancho will most likely be wearing Dortmund colours as it stands. Would love to see him in the Premier League, but don't deprive me of banter. Don't deprive me of the banter dream, you fraud. Okay. Firstly, Mr. Chuckers, Griezmann is one of a number of players who Barcelona has signed for ridiculous fees that have failed to produce the impact that is required at the Messi level. When you are at the side of the GOAT, you will perform to your highest. You will be at your best. Otherwise, you will be cancelled. The patience is thin. It has been running thin for quite some time. We've been through the list of players. The list of players that have, I mean, look at this, like £40 million basically on Malcolm. £108 million on Griezmann. When you're not going to get the best out of him, you just, what are you doing? Who's doing this? Who is making the decisions at this football club? Who is it? In all seriousness, this has been going on for quite some time, hasn't it? Are there football men at the helm? What of Patrick Kluivert's influence at the Nou Camp? There is no longer trust in Abidal. Since Zubizarreta has been fired, there have been questionable characters in charge of things here. The manner of the sacking of Valverde was really a good example of just how badly things are run at this club. And the way that they chased these managers who were already tied up in their own thing or have no interest or have great reasons why they would never manage the club was in itself very telling. What next? They wanted Xavi, and he said no, too soon. Pochettino is surely an option. Who do you suggest? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Sam Tressida getting involved. Massive fraud. I see you.
Good evening. Good evening.
Financial fair play relaxed. Now's the time to rise again to greatness. Spend money to make money is a saying for a reason. Love the content from a Caymanian. I've never seen that in my life before. Is that what a person from the Cayman Islands is called? Caymanian. Is it a Caymanian? They can't call you a manian. Are you a manian? Caymanian, incredible. A Caymanian fraud. Beautiful scenes. That is a special name. However, I just want to give a special shout out to Despierta America, who says, unfortunately, I have to stop watching your vids for a while because fraud is becoming used in everyday speaking way too much. And this is the influence of the great one. Yeah? This is the influence of the most influential. I love that we have a connection and understanding. You love the game, and it is quite clear to see that you are as obsessive about it as I am. So join me on this journey as we travel through these moments of brilliantness. Brilliance? Brilliance. With someone who can't speak. It's going to be an exciting next couple of months. There's a lot of action coming our way. A lot of breaking news for LNS as the big transfer deals will start to happen now that the Champions League is coming to an end. All the clubs that have been knocked out of Europe are going to have players who are now going to be able to finalise their future and make decisions about exactly what they're doing. That much is for sure. I'm looking forward to sharing those times with the Fraud Gang. Why always me? Says, thoughts on Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ronnie O'Sullivan, the greatest of all time. The most electrifying snooker player I've ever seen. With no weak hand. There are naturals, and there are those who are blessed enough to have had a life where they can put in their 40,000 hours of dedication. And once you do that, my friends, once you put in your 40,000 hours, you become a master of the dark arts. Yeah, he's the best ever, isn't he? If I could choose to watch two snooker players go at it head to head, I would want to see Ronnie O'Sullivan and I guess Stephen Hendry for the challenge. A peak Stephen Hendry, prime Stephen Hendry against Ronnie O'Sullivan would be a great game. I think maybe for personality and the characters that I fell in love with when watching the game, Jimmy White, prime Jimmy White at the Crucible against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Special. Rafael Martinez says, who do you think Manchester United should sign? I would love Alex Telles or Tagliafico. Yeah. Ajax left back. Argentine wonder. I mean, look, those are the levels. You're looking at top players, and I think that you are not necessarily a fan of Luke Shaw, then I'm going to assume. Underrated Luke Shaw. Disrespected Luke Shaw. If he gets fit, well worth keeping. Upgrade on Brandon Williams is definitely needed. I don't believe in inverted wingbacks. I don't. I'm sorry. No matter how many times I'm shown good ones. Colorado Guna says Chelsea sign players before the frigging window opens and Arsenal wait till deadline day. There are levels to this. Indeed there are. Indeed there are. My sons. Ah, it's special. It's special sharing these moments with you. Listen, I'm going to love you and leave you because I need to eat. And I am parched. Okay? It's been a lot of fun. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you're new. And drop the video a damn like if you breathe oxygen. Much love to your mothers. We will be back with more content tomorrow. Until then, drop the video another like because I know you haven't done it already. Yeah? Cheers. See you later, lads.